Your favorite memory may not be real anymore. Your brain does not store memories perfectly. It edits them, changes details, removes pain, rewrites emotions. Not to tell the truth, but to protect you. The terrifying part is that after enough time, your brain can no longer tell the difference between memory and fiction. You have a memory you are certain of, a conversation that went a specific way, a moment that hurt you, something someone said, word for word, in a tone you can still hear. You would stake your credibility on it. You were there. You remember. What neuroscience has established beyond any serious dispute is that this certainty proves nothing. Not because you are dishonest, not because your mind is weak, but because memory, human memory, every human's memory, including yours, is not a recording. It never was. It is a reconstruction. And every reconstruction changes the original. This is not a fringe finding. It is one of the most replicated results in all of cognitive science, confirmed across decades of research by some of the most rigorous scientists in the field. Dr. Elizabeth Loftus of UC Irvine, who has spent 50 years studying human memory, states it plainly. Memory works more like a Wikipedia page than a video camera. You can go in and change it, and so can other people. The implications of this are vast. They touch every relationship conflict you have ever had, every childhood wound you carry, every story you tell about who you are and what was done to you. Not because those things didn't happen, but because what you remember happening and what actually happened have been quietly diverging, possibly for years, shaped by forces you were never aware of. The most fascinating part is why this happens. Your brain is not malfunctioning when it rewrites memory. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do, protecting you, maintaining your sense of self, keeping you functional in the world. The lies your memory tells you are, in the deepest sense, acts of care. Understanding them changes not just how you think about your past, but how you think about yourself. Every time you recall a memory, you are not retrieving a stored file. You are rebuilding it from fragments, and in the rebuilding, the memory becomes vulnerable to alteration. Neuroscientists call this reconsolidation, the process by which a retrieved memory must be chemically restabilized in the brain, and during that window of instability, it can be modified by current emotions, new information, and the brain's own editing priorities. A 2000 study by neuroscientist Karim Nader at McGill University demonstrated this in a landmark experiment. He showed that blocking the reconsolidation process in rats using a protein synthesis inhibitor immediately after memory retrieval erased the retrieved memory entirely. The memory was not just stored and retrieved, it was actively reconstructed each time, and the reconstruction was fragile. In humans, this fragility is shaped primarily by emotion. When you retrieve a painful memory in a state of distress, the emotion of the present moment bleeds into the reconstruction. When you retrieve it after years of therapy and perspective, a different version emerges. Same event, different reconstruction, both feeling equally true. Your brain also edits memory according to what psychologists call self-consistency bias, the powerful, largely unconscious drive to maintain a coherent narrative about who you are. Research by Michael Conway at City University London shows that memories inconsistent with your current self-concept are systematically remembered less accurately, less vividly, and less frequently than memories that confirm it. Your brain is not a neutral archivist. It is a narrative editor with a specific agenda, keeping your story coherent. This is why people misremember their own past attitudes. In studies where participants recorded their opinions and were later asked to recall them, people consistently remembered their past views as more similar to their current views than they actually were. The brain quietly updated the past to match the present, protecting the sense of being a consistent, continuous self. The brain's memory editing is most aggressive when the original experience was most painful. Trauma, betrayal, humiliation, loss. These are the memories the brain works hardest to manage. And the management strategies it employs can, over time, create serious distortions between what happened and what is remembered. The first strategy is fading effect bias, the well-documented tendency for negative emotional memories to lose their emotional intensity faster than positive ones over time. Events that once produced intense pain gradually feel less devastating in memory, not because the pain is processed, but because the brain systematically dampens the emotional charge attached to the recollection. This is protective. It allows functioning. But it also means that memories of harm done to you may feel, years later, less significant than they actually were, potentially leading you to minimize experiences that genuinely shaped you. The second strategy is narrative smoothing, the brain's tendency to impose causal logic and coherent story structure on events that were, in reality, chaotic and ambiguous. Real experiences don't arrive with clear villains, clean turning points, and legible meanings. Memory, over time, imposes these. The complicated person who hurt you becomes simpler. The ambiguous situation becomes clearer. The messy truth becomes a story, more coherent, more meaningful, and less accurate than what actually occurred. The third and most consequential strategy is what researchers call motivated forgetting, documented by psychologist Michael Anderson at Cambridge University using fMRI scanning. When people actively tried not to think about specific memories, Anderson's team observed measurable suppression of hippocampal activity. The brain was not just failing to retrieve the memory, it was actively inhibiting retrieval. The brain can, with enough motivation, push painful material below the threshold of conscious access, not erasing it, but burying it in ways that affect behavior without producing explicit recollection. The buried material does not disappear. It surfaces in patterns, in the situations that trigger disproportionate responses, in the relationship dynamics that feel inexplicably familiar, in the fears whose origins you cannot locate. The memory is gone. Its effects are not. The research on memory reconstruction is not an invitation to doubt everything you have ever experienced or to invalidate the pain you carry. It is an invitation to hold your memories, particularly the ones that matter most, with a specific kind of informed humility. Not doubt. Humility. There is a difference. Doubt says, it didn't really happen, or it wasn't that bad. Humility says, what happened was real, and my memory of it is the best record I have. And I should also know that record has been edited by a brain trying to protect me, and that some of those edits may not be serving me anymore. The first practical implication is about conflict and relationship memory. The research consistently shows that both parties in a conflict remember it differently, not because one is lying, but because both are remembering reconstructions shaped by their own emotional state, self-consistency bias, and motivated editing. Approaching relationship conflicts with the knowledge that your memory and their memory are both reconstructions, equally sincere, equally imperfect, changes the nature of the conversation from adjudication of truth to collaborative navigation of two different versions. The second implication is about therapeutic work with painful memories. The reconsolidation window, that period of instability when a retrieved memory can be rewritten, is not only a vulnerability, it is, researchers have discovered, a therapeutic opportunity. EMDR, certain CBT protocols, and newer pharmacologically assisted therapies work partly by retrieving traumatic memories and introducing corrective emotional experiences during the reconsolidation window, effectively allowing the brain to refile the memory with updated, less threatening emotional tags. You are not changing what happened. You are changing how the brain has stored what happened. The third and deepest implication is about identity. If the memories that form the foundation of your self-understanding have been continuously edited by a brain with protective agendas, if the story of who you are and where you came from is partly a construction, this could feel destabilizing. It can also feel liberating. The version of your past that your brain has built is not the only version possible. The meanings attached to what happened to you are not fixed facts. They are interpretations, subject to revision, open to reauthoring. The brain that rewrote your memories without your permission is the same brain that, with deliberate engagement, can rewrite them again, this time in ways you choose, toward meanings that serve the life you are building rather than the wounds you are carrying. Your memory lied to protect you. Now that you know that, you can decide what story to tell instead. So, when you remember the past, ask yourself something dangerous. Did it really happen that way? Or did your brain rewrite the story?